Hi, thank you for joining me on Train the Trainer and volunteering your skills to train our club officers. My name is Marie-Pier Clarke. I'm your past district director, and it is my honor to serve you in our district. As you know, it is crucial to the club's success that all of our club officers, especially the new ones, be well prepared for their duties. We may not be able to teach them everything they need to know in 1 hour, but they have to know where to find information and who they can rely on for support. So our training here today is to help you as a trainer understand how to use this presentation to maximize the learning and emphasize the crucial points. Today I will use the president role, but all of the format that you will see is the same as for all other officer roles. I've done the president role using this format, and I was really excited to see how the material is presented. There's a lot more visuals which lend themselves to greater audience participation. Remember that everything covered in these presentations comes right out of the Club Leadership Handbook. It's not any new information. It's just presented differently so we can reach all different types of learners. And by the way, be sure that you have a copy of the Club Leadership Handbook on hand. Be sure that you show it to your club officers and ask them, have you received your copy? Have you seen it? Have you read it? And if the answer is no to any of that, encourage them to do so. And also, any other handouts that you may have, be sure to have a copy to show them. I hope that you will spend some time getting thoroughly familiar with your slides and be able to find your own stories and anecdotes to make your presentation truly memorable. I find that printing the presentation in the notes pages that you'll find in the printing option allows you to, first of all, see what's on the slide, see what the narrative is that you should be covering, but also it allows you to add your notes, your stories or anecdotes or notes for you during the training. I will encourage you to use these notes in your presentation. You don't have to do it cold. You can actually use your notes to make sure that you cover everything. So in the next few minutes, I will go over the president's role, and for each slide, I will show where I put the emphasis. Now, when all is said and done, there are a few key messages that must be conveyed. The first one is the club mission. Your club officers have to understand what it is that their club mission is and how every single action that they do as a club executive will support the club mission. Club officers are responsible for creating that supportive and positive learning experience in which the members are empowered. So it's their job to create that environment. The second thing they need to understand is that all district leaders are there to support them, starting with their area directors. The area council is another area that provides a lot of support to our club officers. So we encourage them to participate in their area council. This division director are also there for support club officers and every district leader. So your message to the club officers is to reach out to district leaders whenever they have questions and need help. We are there to support them. The other thing that is crucial to the performance of their duties is understanding where to find information. The very first and most important is the Toastmaster International website, right here. On a click, you get to the Toastmaster International website. On that website, under Leadership Central, this is where they have actual access to Club Central, where all of their officer duties are performed from. But just see how much more information is available on each one of those menus. So they have to navigate the site and understand all that they need to know from this site. The other website that is tremendous and has tremendous information is the District 55, tmd55.org website. Excuse me. This is District 55 website where we have information about the activities going on in the district, all of the information about training, location, dates, and so on, our conferences, including links to registration, everything they need to know about contests, promotions that every club officer has to be familiar with, recognition, district leadership, where from one click on an area director or a division director's name sends you directly to an email. So they don't have to remember any emails. They can access these very easily. But they have to know how to get there, and they have to know that it's there in the first place. So your job is to make them familiar with this website. Another one that's tremendously important and resourceful for them is the Club Officer Corner. It has everything for club officers to make their job easier under this tab. So encourage them to get very familiar with this area, this webpage. And the last but not least important key messages is for our club officers to put enthusiasm in everything that they do, to create that supportive and positive learning experience. Most of all, we want our club officers to feel empowered after this training, so they will feel confident and excited about their new role. And if at the end of this presentation you feel you still need a little extra coaching before you present, please feel free to contact me. I'll be glad to know. So let us begin with the president role slides. I will go over the slides and point out the main talking points. Feel free to take some notes. And it would help, of course, if you have a copy of your presentation printed in the notes pages format. So on this page, as you start your presentation, be sure to thank your officers for being present to training. Instill in them the importance of their role, what part they play into that club mission. And for everything in this presentation, every time you can ask questions, make sure that you do ask questions to get your audience involved. For example, how can the Vice President of Education contribute to creating a supportive environment? Ask them those questions. Get them involved. For each one of your role, you will have the pin of that role. So here we have a President's pin. Ask your officers, do you use the officer pin in your club? Do you know, if you don't have a budget for buying them, do you know how you can find a way to get officer pins? And the district promotions offer a great opportunity for clubs to earn district bucks where they can purchase those club officer pins. Some clubs even make it a tradition of pinning the incoming officers with the pins from the outgoing officers. You can create traditions, give them some ideas, and perhaps you have different ideas on how to use the pins and how to make it a significant part of a club experience. Next, you will each have a mind map of the role that you are presenting. On here, the important thing to understand is on the right-hand side, you find all of the roles that each one of these officer role is responsible for before, during, and after the meeting. So you will cover each one of those in details. And on the left, you have the governing body that dictates how the clubs will be run. That includes the club constitution and also the Article 7, the duties of Officer Section 1 of Policies and Protocol of Toastmaster International. These documents are available from the Toastmaster International website, and all of this information is available, is actually contained in the Club Leadership Handbook. Once again, I cannot overemphasize the Club Leadership Handbook has all of this information and then some for your officers to know exactly where they need to look and what they need to do at what time. On this slide, we see where to find the club constitution. Some officers may not know, one, that this document exists. Some may have heard of it but never seen it. What's important is that every officer be familiar, one, that there is one, where to find it, and three, that they read it. If you go to the Toastmaster International website and you type Constitution in the search box, you will get the opportunity to download a copy of the club constitution. Furthermore, at the end of the Constitution is a document called Addendum to Club Standard Options, Addendum of Standard Club Options, which is specific to every club. And that addendum is available under Club Central. Every club has the opportunity to change their addendum of standard club option, but it has to be changed in Club Central. So discuss that with your officers and make sure that they understand how that helps them doing business within their club. On the next slide, you have the various roles and responsibilities for each one of the officer role that you will be presented. Be sure to involve the audience in reading the information and also ask them, what does it mean to fulfill the club mission? Give me some examples of what it means to fulfill the club mission. So you want your audience to get involved and you want them to understand what it means. For example, when the president presides at meetings of this club, he's supposed to preside at every meeting, but can anyone really be there at every meeting? No. So if you don't, the president must make sure that the vice president of education is aware of his absence because he will be filling out for him. So have a little discussion and see how every one of them, their role is so important that if they are not able to fulfill it, they have to have somebody lined up to help them out. Talk about the club executive committee, how they meet, how often, what do they discuss. Here we start talking about responsibilities before, during, and after club meeting. And remember that our focus is on club quality. By the way, you might want to ask them, do you know who this person is? You might even give them bonus points if they do. This gentleman happens to be 2016-2017 International President Mike Storty. He's our actual president for this year. In the next few slides, it tells them you discuss with your club officers where they can find information. We've already covered this a little bit on the TMD55 website. And this particular slide here on the District Officer Corner, District Reports, takes you to the Toastmaster International website where you can find all the reports available for your clubs. You can also visit the Officer Corner tab, and you will also have access to a lot of information necessary as a club officer. Here you see when you get to the District 55 reports, you can have you can look at district performance or at club performance using your club number. The next few slides contain a lot of pictures which represent ways of helping your club earning distinguished recognition. So you want to involve your audience in figuring out what does that mean? What are we representing and how does that contribute to earning distinguished recognition for your club? For example, here we see people receiving certificates. So your club makes it a point to recognize members' achievement, educational and leadership achievements, and also of publishing and talking about it in your newsletter perhaps, or by sending emails to your club members, maybe to the supervisors of some of your members. So again, ask your audience, how can you as a club officer contribute to the distinguished recognition of your club member? Very important that as an officer team, all your officers work together. No one can do all of the responsibilities. It's really a teamwork. And it's very important that we support each other as officers. If one is not able to make a meeting, that somebody else can help out. For example, if the VP membership cannot attend, somebody else has to have the guest book and make our visitors sign and take information down so we can contact them in the future. Be sure to thank them again for attending officer training, which helps them earn distinguished recognition for their club, and also it really helps them do a better job of providing that supportive and learning environment for their club members. Let's talk about deadline. What are those deadlines? Ask the questions. What are the things that are on a strict deadline? Well, of course, you all know that club dues and officer lists must be submitted by a specific deadline. Discuss those. Make them see the importance and how it contributes to earning distinguished recognition for their clubs. Some more opportunities to have discussion and get the audience to participate into how they, as officers, they can lead and guide their club members. As club officers, remember the club mission to create that nurturing and positive environment. It's every officer's responsibility, not just the president, not just the VP of education, every officer working together, keeping meetings fun, being patient and listening to our members, what their needs are, and of course offering assistance. So have a discussion and ask them how they as officer can contribute to leading and guiding their club members. Next, you will go into the roles for each one of your officers. What are the things that they need to do before the meetings, during the meetings, and after the meetings? And again, get them to say what they need to do, and maybe perhaps you even have somebody from the audience write down on the board what all these things are so you can double check with your notes and make sure that you cover everything. Another example of what needs to be done upon arrival at the meeting. And for each role, it's their responsibility obviously will be a little bit different. So focus on their specific responsibilities. But even though I've said that, one that is the same for everybody is greeting the guest and the member. And not just greeting the guests, it's also the members. You want everybody to feel special when they arrive to the meeting. More things to have your audience come up with. So the responsibilities in this case of the president is to call the meeting to order and go through the club business and so on. So for each one of your roles, you will have different responsibilities. So have them come up with all of these as you click on the pictures. You'll have different things. The next important responsibility for all club officers, and that happens outside of club meetings, are the executive committee meetings. Some clubs have them every 4 weeks, others 6 weeks. Some don't have any at all. Ooh, that's not good. So again, be sure to explain to them the importance of the executive committee meeting. What do you discuss during an executive committee meeting? You may want to go through some of those things. What do we talk about? We talk about our progress on DCP, future events coming up, open house, contest, upcoming training, creating a newsletter for our club, some of the club functions inside function, whether we have a little social or something. So those executive committee meeting is really keeping our clubs thriving and on target to do the things that we say we were going to do. So be sure your president will be responsible for creating those meetings and planning them, but all club officers are responsible for attending these meetings because there's a lot of things going on throughout the year and every officer has a part in it. Other responsibilities outside of the executive committee meeting are the district council meeting. All clubs in District 55 have 2 votes at the district council meeting. The president and the vice president of education of each club is a representative. They're representing their club on the district council meeting, so they are members of the district council meeting. So it is important that they either attend and vote, or if they are unable to attend, send a representative through a proxy. So these are 2 very, very important things for your club officer to know. This in particular refers to president and VPE, but all of your other officers will have can be representative of the club at those meetings, at a district council meeting, if the president and VPE cannot attend. The leader letter has a lot that comes from Toastmaster International, has a lot of good information that all of your club officer will receive and should pass that information, should relay that information to their club members on a fairly regular basis. Finally, your club officers have to know where to find information, where to find the constitution that regulates their club, where to find information on the Distinguished Club program and how they can participate. What the policies are, they have to be familiar with the Toastmaster policies. And of course, very important and a great source of information is our tnd55.org website, District 55 website, which has all of the immediate information for each one of our club officers. Next in your presentation, you'll have, oops, wrong slide. Next in the presentation, you will have a little activity. It might be a little bit different depending on the role you are presenting, but you're basically doing a role play of the opening of the meeting. Be sure to have maximum participation by asking your advanced Toastmasters to fill in some of the bigger roles, but also have your other members participate as members and guests. Keep it fun, keep it light. Be sure to recognize all the good points, and be sure also to give feedback to your actors at the end. You will have in the classroom, when you present each one of your roles, you will have handouts. Be sure to take the handouts and show them to the audience, to your participant, and that you go over those handouts with them so that they can see visually and touch the handout to help them see where that information is and how to use it as well. So this is everything that we've covered. The mind mapping is a more visual ways of presenting information that will hopefully make it more memorable. But of course, the enthusiasm and the knowledge that you convey to them will help a whole lot in making your club officers feel empowered, confident, and excited in conducting their duties. So all in all, remember the key messages. The importance of doing everything in support of the club mission, creating that supportive and positive learning experience for your members. Be sure that you know who to contact. Be sure that your officers know who to contact when they need support, starting with their area directors, but all district leaders all the way up the chain. Your club officers have to know where to find resources. All of the website, there are two main ones, the Toastmasters.org and the TMD55.org. Encourage them to go and visit these websites if they haven't, if they've never visited them, and to ask questions about those resources. And finally, remember to convey the enthusiasm that you share for your responsibilities, for your role, and that in turn it is their responsibility to convey that enthusiasm within their club by keeping meetings interesting, fulfilling, fun, and light. Not everything, as you know, we learn better in moments of enjoyment. Finally, I reiterate, if you feel the need, you need a little extra coaching before you present, please feel free to contact me and I'll be glad to help. Thank you for joining me on Train the Trainer, and I wish you a great 2017.